in the store. It came out perfect.
But you edited it so well.
No, I didn't edit it. It wasn't an edit. It was video stop. Video stop. It wasn't edited.
It looks like a master comedy edited.
No, it wasn't an edit. It was, around the time they only had, like, Instagram was only giving you 15-second videos. So imagine you have to wait on my page and post another video. That's how it was. I would post.
Okay, I think people need to hear that, like, based on what the parameters of Instagram were then, you took it and already knew how to, like, fly with it. Okay, so also, like, how do you keep up with all your social? Like, all of it, so much. I mean, I'm trying to do more of it and stuff, and it takes a lot of time and energy just to get a good post out.
I just post what's going on. I don't have a time of, like, I don't run my page. I have a content creator that runs that. I really just run my page, and that's why I don't post as much. I used to post so much. You probably would unfollow me years ago. I used to post a lot. Now I don't post as much, but I just post what's going on, and like on live more than anything. Because on live, I could kind of be myself. When I post, I don't post how I used to post. Like, I don't post for me. I don't post with me, going crazy. But it usually happens on live. I post a video. I'm probably taking the video from live, but it's easy. Like, it became like second nature. It's like a job. Social media is like a job to me. Like, when you make money from it, it becomes a job. So I know how to work it. I know how to work the ins and out of it.
But, like, you have so many videos when you were just in Tulum and you're like going on the beach and going in the caves and having a drink and eating on the beach. Like, it looks like what's the word? Like it has like an art director, and like it's like not staged. It looks real, but like there's somebody videotaping and filming, and you're setting it to music. Are you just all like pew 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 pew?
Yep. Well, yeah. Well, I'll edit those. Like, I'll edit, like, it was the video of me walking and stuff. I edit that, but it's just catching me in a moment. That's the best time I can be when they catch me in the moment. Like, when they tell me, okay, you gotta do this, you gotta say this, you gotta do this. I'm like, yeah, I'm not too good with that. If you catch me in a moment, it's gonna be extremely authentic.
That's why it's working.
Yes, that's exactly why. I'm being myself and getting the acknowledgement for it.
It sounds easy, but you actually can't teach that. It's actually hard.
You can't. You definitely can't. I teach that at all. That's
okay, I asked a lot. All right, you're up.
Okay, so we all may know you from Blacklist, but you have done way more films, TV, even theater than that. Can you name us a few things that you've been in besides Blacklist? I've been in Law and Order a few times. I'm like, oh! But what's some other things that we could watch, go back and watch that you past besides Blacklist?
I don't know. I always get a little like shy at this question. Like, yo, like, check me out on this. Like, I was good in this. Like, I'm dope. Like, I always get a little like, but I've been doing it since I was 8. Mm-hmm. And, I came up in theater. I'm primarily do television now. That's my medium. I like TV the most. For me, right now, I love theater. I love film. But TV goes so fast. Yeah. First of all, it's a really good lifestyle. Like, because first of all, you get your weekends off. Theater, you're working all through the weekends. Film is like 30 days, and then while you're doing that, you gotta like audition or try to get the next job. So TV, I know I have a job for the season. I have like 9 months. I got my weekends off. I can have a life. Okay. Outside of like just trying to the constant hustle. Now the hustle is different. The hustle is like social media, getting involved in other projects, nonprofits. It's really like about like, what else do I want to say and what else do I want to do? But so I was on Law and Order. A lot of people saw that. I was Dr. Manning in the ER with Mariska and Stabler. Stabler's back on next week. I'm about that. I sent my DVR, Law and Order organized. People don't know this. I actually did. So I met Maloney, the first Law and Order SVU I did. Mm-hmm. We did a scene, and it was just a scene, me and him, and I pulled him to the side. I'm talking about, a patient, so this must mean like the perp did this or something. Yeah. And he was like, he looks at the director, he was like, this kid's got timing. You can't teach timing. This kid's got timing. And then I told him, I was like, yo, people don't know how good you are at comedy. I know I'm telling you, like Maloney, he's done a lot of comedies. He was in Wet Hot American Summer. I was like, people don't know how funny you are. And then he called me in his dressing room. He's like, check this out. And it was like some super silly movie he did. And then he called me a few years later. He's like, I got this sketch. Will you do it with me? And I was like, Maloney just called me. So I did a Funny or Die sketch. It was kind of at the time when people were making videos about Coney, where I play his agent. And it's on Funny or Die. It's on YouTube. So that's just a side story. Anyway, so like, you never know what comes. You know, you do stuff, you do good work, you show up prepared, you have fun. I was excited to work with him, and like it leads to other stuff. Anyway, so SVU, a lot of people saw me on. So some of like my favorite TV stuff that I would say favorite TV stuff that I've done that people have seen that kind of move the needle. I was on Girls on HBO and Homeland on Showtime and American Horror Story on FX. Those, I didn't realize how many people watch those or in the industry. And Blacklist too, a lot of people watch Blacklist. That, like, you can do like the lead. I've done like leads in movies, or I did this show called 0 Hour. I had a great part, but if no one sees it, it doesn't move the needle. It doesn't, then you gotta hustle and audition for the next thing. But if you do something that people see, and that's hard to know. Like when I did American Horror Story, it was like the 7th episode, but the show hadn't premiered. Now it's like this crazy, wild, everybody loves this show. It's on season 10. And I was on episode 7 of season 1, and I didn't even know. I just like, oh, Ryan Murphy's good.
Right.
The part was dope. Like, you have to see that, Supa.
I do.
You have to see that episode 7. I won't say much, but I won't say much. I won't say too much. But like, so some of those roles are like my favorites and stuff. But I have favorite theater roles, and right now I'm doing a Butterfinger campaign, which is mad fun. Like, it's a comedy. It's like I'm just doing satire comedy, and so it's a commercial, but it's one of my favorite roles. Tim Piper is the writer-director. I got to give him a shout-out. He's a genius. He writes and directs commercials. People don't know how talented he is. Anyway,
really?
Okay. Yeah.
Butterfinger.
I'll send it to you.
You have everybody.
Say that again?
You're going to have everybody buying Butterfinger. If I see you in that, I'm buying Butterfingers.
Buy some Butterfingers. Keep the campaign going. They're going to be very happy about this. The ad agency is going to be emailing to. I'm going to get a text.
Yes.
I like it. All right. My turn. Okay. So, all right. I want to follow up with one more social media question. Well, no, you sort of answered that. I was going to ask, like, how are you able to like some of my family's business, relationship business, like I there's some things that can't be broadcast. Right. You are so comfortable on social media saying some of your most private stuff, and it is some of the most interesting stuff. Like you said, it's relatable, but like, how are you able to like go there? I don't know. I mean, maybe it's not a question, but like, can you talk to that a little bit?
I think when people hear about, multimillionaires and CEOs, and like they automatically make us feel like we don't have the same problem they have, like sometimes they make us feel like we're superhuman, as if like we can't be a part of this, we can't say this, we don't go through this because we got too much money to be going, so that's the times where that's not true. I speak about my private stuff in my life because I need people to know that if you've been through a heartbreak, fuck, I've been through a heartbreak too. Like, I've been crazy behind a man. Or I, then fell off with some friends. Like, once I got to the top, I'm going through business problems. I have problems with customer service. I have problems with this and that. Like, I have problems with books. Like, I took huge loss when it came to the pandemic. Sometimes they don't think that we have the same problems as them because we have more money, or like we have more, like a bigger platform, or we have more attention on us than we do. So that's why I'm with, and it also shows them that, ain't nothing. I mean, I changed, but heart-wise, I'm still the same. Like nothing changed. Like, I didn't change. I can't do that. I make too much money for this. Like, I don't act like that. I mean, even though and a lot of people been following me since the beginning. Since I was a server. When I was waiting tables.
I didn't know that.
I've been on social media when I was a housekeeper at a hotel. I used to get.
You were a housekeeper at a hotel? That
was my last job. 2014. I was a housekeeper at a hotel, and some people have been following me since then. So I want them to see that even though I'm at a better place in my life, I'm still the same person at heart. So I don't mind those bad moments. When I took a huge health scare, I documented that. You know, like I talked about that, and a lot of things I don't really remember too much about, but I did share it. I shared when I was in the hospital. I shared when I went through like a lot of stages in my memory loss. Like I'm going through the same thing. Nothing is different because I have a larger platform, or I have a business, or I have bigger things going for myself. I'm still a normal person.
There's so many things I want to respond to that. I did not know you were a server. I did not know. My mom, one time I picked my mom up when I first moved to LA. I was in LA for a little while, and my mom and dad came to visit, and they were like in Northern California, and then they took the train, and I picked them up, and they hadn't seen me in LA. I'd been living in LA. And when I first got to LA, it was before Blacklist. I'm running around just on the hustle, just trying to get TV shows, just trying to get whatever I could, directing little theater projects, just staying in it. And I always tell people, like, do what you love, work hard, things will happen. It may not happen the way nothing happens the way you plan. Nothing happens the way you plan, but you create your own luck. Opportunity meets preparation, luck. But anyway, my mom, I picked up my parents, and I had a little Scion. I don't know if you know, like a Scion's a little car. And I got the Scion because in LA, you're trying to hustle and get to things, and you got to drive all the way across town. You'll spend 2 hours going just to get to this audition, then 2 hours to get back to a meeting or whatever, half your day. And I remember looking for parking as a thing. So I got this Scion because it's like a little higher, so I'm not like getting on low on the ground because of my back. A little higher, and I can get into parking spaces. So I was like, oh, good. There's a wedge my way into the little parking space so I can save time. So I was like, this just makes sense to keep things moving. And when I picked up my parents, my mom is like in the little back seat with her legs up. You know what I mean? My dad took the front seat, and she's like, Amir, I'm very proud of you. And I was like, why? She's like, because of your little car. It shows you have no ego.
Right, exactly.
I was like, but I'm not gonna lie. I gotta tell the truth. I gotta tell the truth. My friend, I haven't seen him in a while, but it was actually Jesse Williams. We did this showcase together, an ABC showcase in New York in 2005. And Jesse, if you don't know him, people obviously know him. He's blown up from Grey's Anatomy. He's huge social activist. He's an amazing guy. Anyway, so he took me to Soho House in okay, I don't know if people know in Soho House, it's like a club in New York and LA that you have to be a member, and you have to do something in the industry or be uber successful in some way.
Oh, wow.
And he took me, and I was like, oh, wow, look at all this. And I came in my little Scion. Not even like, who cares?
Right.
Just like, came in my little Scion, and then valet is bringing the cars around when we're leaving, and like Anne Hathaway is standing behind me. I don't know, like Gerard, but someone was standing in front of me, and it's like Bentley, Porsche,
yes,
Mercedes, and I'm like, that was the first time I was like, I got like a little embarrassed, and it's human, it's up, and then my Scion comes, and people are like, who's that? And I was like, I was like, okay. I gotta admit, so I was like, I was a little embarrassed, but whatever. I'm still proud of it.
It's no problem. Science is great on gas.
I've seen you talk about crawfish. It doesn't matter how much money you make. If you're going to spend $6.99 a pound, nobody got to mess with your crawfish.
Exactly.
But if it's $3.90 a pound, then you can come around and eat my crawfish. I'm listening. I'm a fan.
I appreciate that. That means a lot. But yeah, when I was a server at a restaurant, I was on Kitchen Nightmares with Gordon Ramsay, and I was his main server. And like that was plastered all over TV. And
how'd you get on that? Did you apply? How'd they find you?
Oh, I was one of the top servers at the restaurant, and he picked me up. He was like, I want her to wait up. I'm like, okay. I'm like, like they told us some things to say, but it was like, just be a server, And I was just a server. Like he was mean to everybody else, but he was super mean. So I thought that was nice. He was mean as hell to everybody, but he was.
Okay, so I don't think people realize, so it doesn't matter what you're doing. You had talent. You were already getting spotted. You were already doing.
Yeah.
You were already authentic. You were
Yeah.
you were kind. You were hardworking.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if you are housekeeping, serving.
Mm-hmm.
I was a host at a restaurant. I worked at a Starbucks for a little while. Like, it doesn't, hard work and good people's shows, people notice, even if it takes a while. I can't encourage that enough.
I agree. You always get recognized by your talent.
You got sorry, you paused for a second. You got recognized by what?
You always get recognized by your true talent. So I agree.
I like Supa. Okay, you're up next, and then I got a next question for you.
How many questions do you get about Agent Keen a day? I can imagine.
Well, like, if people are watching, I don't want to give away too much, but if you're watching this and you're not caught up, pause. People right now are like, what's up with Agent Keen?
Yes.
Why is she doing that? Where is she? Where's Agent Keen? When's she coming back? Is she coming back? What's going on?
Right.
So I get that. But really, usually what I get, well, there's two things I get. Like, this has stopped. Actually, this was like the first 4 or 5 seasons. Mm-hmm. Yo, is Reddington her dad? Who's Reddington? And I'm always like, first of all, I don't know. And they're like, come on, you can tell me. I'm like, I actually don't know, and I don't want to know.
Right.
Because if I know and it ever comes out, you can lose your job. That is the proprietary secret of the blacklist. It's one of the driving forces. It's like the driving mystery. I know for some people it's getting old. It's 8 years. It's like, come on, just tell us already. Like, come on. And I get that. But it's a major, major secret. And I don't want to know, have my theories just like everyone else. Because also, like Aram, to play the part, I don't want to get ahead. Like, I want to enjoy. I want to be in this script. Right. I want to be present. If I know, you can sort of like think about other things. I was like, Aram doesn't know. He's afraid of Reddington. He respects Reddington. He's like, oh, what's Reddington? Like, all that stuff. I just want to play that. And he's like worried about Agent Keen, and he's upset with her, and like all that stuff. So that's enough to play, and it's a full experience as an actor. But usually, like, I don't know, in season 4, this happened a lot. I was living in Harlem at the time, and Aram had that girlfriend, Elise. Remember? She was the blonde, short girl who turned out to be a spy. And then, like, I had to, like, go undercover to try to catch her, and then she realizes it, and she kicks my ass.
Yes.
I mean, she's like half my size, and she kicks my ass. But it's okay. Aram's like, he's a brain. He's not a fighter. He's stepping up these days. So people on the street, like, this guy, I'm walking in Harlem, comes out of the barber shop. Yo, Aram! Yo, why you let Shorty take you like that? Like, mad and disappointed. Like, he ran out of the barbershop and chased me as if it's like, I was like, they wrote it, you know. But I also see, like, people like, how can you do that on TV? I was like, it's funny, it's real, it's not funny, real. It's like spy on spy. It's not that real, but I don't know. I love the part. I feel really lucky how they write to me. Even when he messes up, it's hard sometimes, you know, like right now, the stuff with Agent Keen, you know, all of us, Wrestler, Cooper, Aram, we all have like a soft spot. So we like it, so the audience could be mad at the character, and then they'll get mad at us if we don't do what they want them to do. Right. And you'll see it on social media, like as if they're like, how can you, like every now and then, they really are, there's Twitter and everything is so supportive of Aram. It's really sweet. But every now and then they're like, you shouldn't be an FBI agent like this. And I'm like, this is what they wrote. I'm just doing my job. Like, you know, we're trying our best, you know, like he's a human. So I always, and I'll see it, I'll be like, oh, I'll read the script, and I was like, oh, Ron, wait, oh, people are getting mad at you, and like, oh, I'm gonna be mad at you. But then people don't realize that's actually an acting opportunity. You know, you gotta like try to find, people make mistakes, people aren't like superheroes every day at solving things, or being crime fighters, or being friends, or being in relationships. People mess up, and that's part of the drama of TV. So you've got to find, I had an acting teacher in college once said, you play every hero like a villain, and you play every villain like a hero. Because no villain thinks they're a villain. They're doing what they think it's right. And heroes are flawed. Right. So that always stuck with me. I just gave myself goosebumps.
That was a great analogy, actually.
All right. Is it my turn now?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. So people may not know this. I didn't know that you were a server and that you were a housekeeper, but people may not know that you also went to Boston College for business administration and management.
Did I?
Oh, crap. The internet is lying.
Yeah, I didn't go to college.
Even more impressive. The Wikipedia, but something that looks like that.
They better stop. I never been to college. Everything I learned from business, I learned through trial and error.
I love you. You're the best. I love you. But okay, so this is a good point. People should realize that when you're a public profile, people put stuff on the internet that's true, not true, and people project it and believe it. Like I've seen people put like, oh, Amir's net worth. I'm like, that's not true at all. Or like relationship status and so forth. I'm like, ah. You know, it's like, ah. It's like, but it goes with the territory, and you just gotta, I guess have a thick skin. But okay, so you didn't go to Boston College.
No.
But you were born, I hope I get this right, Raynell Renee Stewart.
Yes.
Okay, so when did Raynell Renee Stewart become Wazam Supa and then Supa Scent? And how did that happen? And yeah, Supa. Origins of Supa.
So I'm still Raynell Renee Stewart. That's my real name, my birth name. Like I never changed my name at all. It's just like like a social media.
Besides your like mom and sister or people you grew up, does anyone call you Raynell or does everyone call you Supa?
My family called me Raynell. Yeah.
Everyone else calls you Supa.
But my friends still call me Supa. Like my friends call me Supa, because they kind of understand, like we can't be in the street and you calling me Raynell because these people don't know me as Raynell, So, but my Wazam Supa started on Vine. I used to be on Vine a lot. My got popular from Vine first. I was on Vine, and it was Wazam in New Orleans mean what's up. Right, so I mean, like, what's up, Supa? So I'm like, well, I'm just gonna go with Wazam Supa. And then when I got on Instagram, I was already on Instagram.
But where did Supa come from? Where did the Supa part
came from? It was like it was literally 11 years ago. An old man I lived next door to in the apartment complex. I told him my son was bad. I'm like, my son is because I just had my son. And he was like, well, how your son doing? I'm like, well, he bad. He said, well, I can see that because his mom was super bad. I'm like, oh, I like that bad. So it was so weird. On Facebook, I put my name as bad. Then I changed it because it was taking a super bad wrong as if I was saying it for looks. I was saying it as, like the man was saying it, well, like all he did was see me go to work, come inside, go to work, come inside. And he was like, I'm a superwoman to be able to just have a child.
The hustle.
Work. Don't mind going to work. I wasn't hanging outside because I was just going inside. So I took off the bad and it was just Supa. When I got on Vine, it was Wazam Supa, like what's up, Supa? And then my page kept getting deleted on Instagram. I kept getting deleted on Instagram. So I went with Supa Scent as a funny thing. Like I think my page was deleted like 9 or 10 times. So
who's deleting your page? Why was your page getting deleted?
I used to get into it with people on Instagram, like us going back and forth, and I was funnier. So they used to delete my page because I probably, I used to go at their neck and they thought it was hilarious, but I probably was a little rude sometimes. Like people used to pick on me. Shit. I was being picked on. Like they'll come say I look like that, and when I respond, I'm actually funny, and more people are laughing at me, so I got deleted. Like I was bullying somebody when I'm defending myself. So my page was deleted so many times, I kind of took off. I went off 50 Cent, was shot 9 times, but he came back. So I went for Supa Scent. Like my page was deleted 9 times, but I came back. I did not think I was going to be stuck with this page for 6 years. I thought this page was going to get deleted too. So I got stuck with the name Supa Scent. I hate Supa Scent. I hate the name Supa Scent. I hate it. I hate it. When people see me, I say, hey, Supa, like they don't know, but I'm like, my name was Wazam Supa. But like when they put it on, like I used to, when I used to get booked a lot, I used to make them change the flyer from Supa Scent to Wazam Supa because I hated Supa Scent. I'm like, that's not my name. My name is not Supa Scent. My name is Wazam Supa. Or just call me Supa. But we had to put Scent on there because when it's posted on flyers and stuff, people probably go type in my name. So I can't put Wazam Supa if nothing's gonna pop up. So
I cannot believe you are most known for a name that you don't even like.
Yes, I hate it. I hate the name.
What?
I thought the page was going to get deleted. I didn't think I was going to be stuck
Well,
with the damn.
first of all, I'm not used to pages getting deleted. What was Instagram had like you were like too like what too real? I don't know, like what?
Yeah, basically, because people would pick on me, and then when I go back and I defend myself, I was just funnier. I was funnier, and then my mouth was reckless. I used to curse them out because I don't see how you could just talk about somebody.
Do you think you would have gotten deleted today, or now they like it?
I think now they like it.
They were figuring it out.
6 years, so I think now.
So somewhere in the archives is this like golden history of like Wazam Supa social media, like the origins. You got that.
It's all on Facebook. I mean, not Facebook. It's on YouTube. Like they still got old videos that getting into with people. It's all on YouTube. I just never kind of collected them together because, not.
All right, that was good. I don't know if your fans know that. Supa sent called her Wazam Supa.
Yes, Wazam Supa. I like Wazam Supa. Oh, I hate Supa.
Wazam. Okay, you're up. All right.
Okay, you answered this, but I still wanted to know. But you answered it already. I always wanted to know from actors when you're not in character, how do you deal with sending you out and calling you by your cast name or being upset about a role you film? You kind of answered that, but I know it happens often with you, especially with Blacklist. So, like, how do you deal with people really be mad on Twitter, your comments? I be watching them, like, they really be mad at this man from his character. Like, they don't know, like.
Well, it's mostly love, but what I learned, because I'm a sensitive guy, like Aram was like, and then now people are gonna like test, but people are gonna be like tested. Ooh, but what happens is people have a short-term memory. They can hate you from one episode, and the next episode you do something cool, and they're like, oh, you're my hero. It's TV. It's like each week you got like it's chapters of life.
Yeah.
So, but in terms of people usually, if in the street, they'll call me Aram. Are you Aram? As opposed to Amir. But what's funny is if I feel someone peeping, like I'm at a restaurant or something, and they're like doing this, then like I see them in their phone, and they'll be like Amir, and I was like, you just looked it up on IMDb. You don't know that I'm Amir, but that's okay. It's really flattering anyway. It's so nice. So people refer to me, they'll like be driving, I'm like, Aram, why'd you and Samar break up? Where'd you go? Or like stuff like that. It's like.
I never had that against somebody until I met.
Say that again.
I never had a personal vendetta against somebody until I met Samara on Black. I'm like, I can't believe she played with Aram like that. Like, I hated Samara. I hated her. It's like, you played that so. I think when Samara was on there, like, we saw a different type of side on you on Blacklist. Because like, even though like you dated the other girl, but Samara was your
personal. Yeah. So I got to say this, when I started on the show, it really was like, oh, we got a fun computer guy. So, and I thought my role was like help solve things on the computer and hack, and I get a little joke, you know what I mean? And keep it light. And then they gave me more stuff and I became a regular. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, have a relationship, or I'm pining for her. And then I'm in a love triangle. And then now I'm like, I know people watch last season. I'm like going with a married woman whose husband is in a wheel. I mean, it's like people were mad at that. People were mad, but because I knew. But here's what was cool: I could find a way, and this is why I'm so grateful. They're giving me acting opportunities beyond just solving stuff on a computer and helping the task force. It's now like the coolest thing about a TV show is. You're playing a role for 8 years, and like I'm a different person, and so the character's a different person. He's grown so much. Now he's in the field. He's got confidence. He's been through devastation, heartbreak, death. He's broken the law, and he's such a by the book guy. And the thing that was cool about last season that people were mad at, and I understand why there were, but Aram is like making a mistake. And I sort of talked about this already, but I could connect it to being on the rebound from Samar.
Right.
So, and there's a line that Cooper says after he like saved her, and there's that adrenaline rush of like he saved her, he shot the glass and he saved the girl from you know, damsel in distress, and then there's like an adrenaline from that, and she thanked him and gave him a kiss, and he was like, it's the first time he's had a kiss since Samara. He's like, whoa, what was that for?
Yes.
And she's like, thank you. And he's like, you know, he knows her husband's back there, and he's like, whoa. And then he goes back to the office with Cooper, and he's like, it's okay to feel again. And Liz was like, look, you're allowed to be human. It is. So Ram's like, he wasn't going and doing it. He's like, okay, Cooper said it's okay, and they're my friends who's trying to help me. I doubted it. I didn't think it was a good idea. But, you know, I'm a little bad. We're all a little bad inside. I was like, you know, let me get my, like, Aram wants to get his, you know, get his groove on. I don't know. I don't know. So that's how that started. And then she kept pushing him to break the law. So it was like, obviously it was not the right relationship for him. It wasn't right. But it was fun to kind of explore being nervous, and it feels good to be bad, and then it feels horrible. And then, of course, she plays him again, and it's like Aram just has bad luck with the girls. Just has bad luck with the girls.
I hate it. I'm like, why they keep playing with Aram? He's such a deep person. Yeah, I agree. Like we all felt some kind of way about that. We did.
All right, so we got that. All right, what those were my main thing. Oh, we haven't talked about Crayon Case. Yo. Okay, so can you tell people? I know a lot of people already know this, but for those who don't, I may be wrong, but you were doing some social media stuff for Crayon Case, and then you elected to buy them out, or you made an offer, or I apologize if I got this wrong. Were you the founder of Were you the full founder of Crayon Case, and was your full brainchild? How did Crayon Case start for you?
So I'm the full founder and only CEO of the Crayon Case.
Okay, my bad.
No.
My bad. I'm out. No,
The Crayon Case came about because I was getting a lot, and it was hard for me to find an MU in different cities. So I wanted to learn how to do my own makeup. So around this time, they had Periscope, and I used to be on Periscope doing my own makeup. I used to be messing my face up. Everybody thought it was funny. I thought it was funny. And then over the months, I eventually learned how to do my makeup. So people like what's the products I'm using, what I like, what I don't like. If y'all keep asking me, I'm gonna come out with some products. So they're like, yeah, come out with some products, you know. So I come out with 2 products. And then when I ended up launching, the whole brand is.
So how did you get with like a makeup company to like design it and do the chemicals and like all the stuff, like whatever it is?
I reached out to a lot of suppliers. I went through so many suppliers before I even launched. I was supposed to launch in the beginning of 2017, but I didn't launch until
Vision.
Because I had
preparation. People don't realize preparation. You had okay, and you saw a need for something. You saw a need. This is like a Shark Tank situation. You saw a need.
Yes.
That's something you needed, and then you're like, how can I do? Okay.
Yes, exactly. So I went through a lot of suppliers, and when I found the ones I liked, even during the business, I still had to go through different suppliers, like to find this product that one supplier can't do all your products. So I started out with only 7 products, and now we have over 100 and something products. But the whole brand is about school. Like every product kind of resembles school supplies because it's made for you to learn how to do your makeup. Like
that's what the school supply is. So you can learn. So it's starting off like ABCs. I didn't know that. I just thought it was like marketing genius, and also can make like kids feel like they know how to do it, like young girls, and like I thought it was just like so it's open for everybody. But I didn't. It's so that was your idea to make it so it's easy to learn because you wanted to learn easy. You just froze, but you're back. So to make it easy. Yeah. So where did the Crayon Case? How did you come up with Crayon Case? Because it's branding genius. Where did that come from? That word, those 2 words.
I came up with Crayon Case because at first I was so dedicated to like when you think of crayon, you think of school. Like you don't think of drawing, and like you just automatically think of school. So and then the case part was like where you're gonna hold your makeup stuff. You're gonna hold all your stuff like a Crayon Case. So that's how the name came about, and it's
so good.
Like just so you won't feel intimidated by actually learning how to do your makeup. Like you may buy, the product, and you just so intimidated because it's only meant to be used by a professional. But if you go get one of my palettes, it says box of crayons on it. Like you gonna play with it until you get it because it's so fun. Like it's a fun product to have, and it's like you don't be intimidated by playing in makeup, and that's the whole part. But the quality, for like it's for professionals. But I get two consumers. I get the ones who never done makeup, who want to learn how to do makeup, and the ones who love makeup and they just want great quality product. I get both sides. I get beginners and the professionals.
It's so cool to meet someone that came from humble beginnings, hard work, single mom, doing it, being a super bad.
Yes.
and then becoming a super san. I'm sounding like a dork right now. And that you had the vision and you're young. People think you've been, done this for so long, but you're really young. It's very impressive. It's rare.
Thank you.
It's cool. So I know. So you're a CEO. You're a founder. You got the social media game down. You got the businesswoman game down. You're still working on life.
Yes.
But I'm guessing you probably have some new ideas.
I do.
So anything you can tease without teasing, without giving away any secrets. And are you thinking like products? Are you thinking a business venture? Like what can you tease?
I could tease that I could tease just don't stop watching TV.
No.
I just love you.
Okay. I don't know what you're talking about, but can I be a guest?
Yeah, you can be a guest.
I don't want to put on any makeup.
Nope.
All right, so that's a good note to you got any, okay, so you got anything last for me?
Yes. What advice would you give to the ones who are trying to be an actor or trying to be an actress, who are looking into being, in movies and films and theaters? I think a lot of people don't know they have like big actors. They still audition, and that's something that we kind of learn from social media, that they have actors and actresses who've been in plenty of movies, but they still audition, right, for certain movies. So how would you, like, what type of advice would you give the ones that's looking?
I auditioned for Butterfinger twice. I had to do callback. I was on Billions. I had to audition for that. People think, oh, you're on this, and you just get offered. No, the hustle never ends. And like people, like, it's just the rooms get not bigger, but like, there'll be a role that people realize is like so desirable or so cool, and so the room will be Leonardo DiCaprio, Matt Damon, and like Matthew McConaughey. Like they'll be circling those three actors and talking about it and so forth. Like they might, it never ends.
Right.
And I'm never satisfied. I mean, it took me a long time I've always been positive and grateful, but really like finding like a contentness where you are in the moment. It's good to have goals, like don't stop working, but the fun is not really like achieving the goal, it's the ride and making it happen.
Right.
Life's a journey. People like worrying about the future is like, there's a term like anxiety is living in the future and depression is living in the past. And the trick is to be in the moment. And that's harder than it sounds. It's actually the key to acting. That's why I like prepare, so that if the director's like, no, we're going to have you walking instead of sitting, or this scene, I want to like flip it and do it this way. If you're prepared and you have like the voice down and you can go any direction. And then you're supposed to let all your preparation go. This is one of the ways I work. And then just listen, just listen to your scene partner. If you're struggling with things, just make it about your scene partner. Get out of your head and just listen and be present. It's the same in life. Be present with the world. Listen. Just stop, listen to the birds, really hear the person across from you. You can be disagreeing, but if sometimes we get hot and get in a fight. If you go back and really think about what they're trying to say or take them in, it can bring you back. Humble yourself without being a pushover. Okay,
Right.
so I don't know. That didn't answer your question at all. How do people get in the industry? Okay, like there's no answer. Just like people like Supa, how do you become a business owner? I mean, you'd have to be like, well, I met Gordon Ramsay because I was working
Right.
hard at a restaurant. He recognized. I mean, that's just like people are like, oh, you know, how do you get an agent? I was like, well, an agent is one spoke on the wheel. There's like preparation, you know, network. People are like, oh, networking. I don't find like you go to a thing and you're networking that it turns to actually Lucky Church, our boy who founded us, that I actually met at an event, but he watched Blacklist. He was there with Ty, you know, Ty,
I know.
and you know, and I'm, you know, I'm trying to get into fashion a little more. You know, I like fashion, you know, and so then we just started talking. We all became pals, and that's how we met Sean. And so that was a networking sort of thing, but that's not through acting. That's okay, but that's how this came to be. People are like, how are Supa and Amir talking? Like they come from like they're in different worlds. Like how are they here? That's how. But really, it's the people you work with and come up with. Like my friend Rami, who's got that show on Hulu. Rami, I recognized him in a comedy festival like 10, 12 years ago, and I was like, this kid's got it. This kid's funny. Just like I was like, Supa is so talented. And I was like, and then he had seen me in a play. He came to a play that I was in, and there was like no one in the audience at that time, but he was laughing at my shit. Oh, I cursed. I don't curse. I don't curse with the internet. I'm PG. You're free.
Oh, you're right. Right. That was a healthy word though, so you're fine.
Okay. So he, you know, I'm Disney Plus, and you're, I don't know, HBO Max. I don't know. All right. So,
right.
so he was laughing. He was laughing at all my, you know, I didn't, you know, there's no one laughing because there's like barely any people. I was like, is this working? I don't know. And he comes up and he's like, yo, man, you're so funny. You're so good. I was like, you're Rami Youssef. And he's like, at the time, he's a kid. He was like 21 or something. He's like, you know who I am? I was like, I saw you at this festival. So we became friends and have been supporting each other like since. Now he's got a show. That's a show I didn't have to audition for. Actually, no, I did. He wanted me in the pilot because it was a pilot. He's like, I want to just give this to you, but the studio is making, they don't know you for this role. I auditioned. They approved me, and then it conflicted with Blacklist, and I couldn't do it. So then he's just calling me, trying to get me in. Like, he's trying to get me in, he's like, and I was like, conflicts with Blacklist, conflicts with Blacklist. Finally, he's like, season 1 is ending. He's like, will you do this role? And it was like a deli owner, you know, and I'm going to get a season 2. This might be the last kind of role that's kind of funny that I can get. I just want to get you in there. Right. That is just coming up, being a good person, working hard. So that's one thing. Just be a good person and work hard. Just be thankful. First of all, it's the right way to live. Just be kind and work hard. Just good things will happen. It feels good. My mom always says that the best dollar is the one you earn yourself. Yes. It's the one that feels the best. I agree. And so I'm sort of on life. I'm not really on the end. So really there's no answer. I got a book called Acting as Business. I graduated from college and it was not an acting degree. I sort of had a minor in it, and I had no agent. I had no idea how to do it. I just know I wanted to do it. I bought this book called Acting as a Business. So I studied the craft and the art of it, but I was like, what is the business? And it literally is like how to join the union, how to get an audition, when you have an agent, what to do in your agent interview. Like just like a 101 on how to, and I used that as my little Bible. And then I would take workshops. There's workshops that you can pay for where you learn from casting directors. So it was like a double whammy where I was like, my goal is I want to learn what I'm supposed to do when I get an audition, even though I don't have that many. But at the same time, that casting director is seeing me right now, and I'm going to prepare my butt off for this class so I can learn. And also, I got my first line on a soap opera because it was a soap opera, One Life to Live. I paid like a carpenter, like in 2000 or 2001 or something, and I was like. And that was because I took that class, and now I'm on set getting experience. And the cool thing about like, dude, I did children's theater. I put Scooby-Doo live. I was in New Orleans. I did Scooby-Doo live. New Orleans is wild. And each thing that when I did a soap opera, and then I got my first Law and Order, and it was just like one scene. I played an Iraqi gas station guy. Each thing was so exciting because it was another step, and people were like, oh, they just want to like jump here and be on top and win an Oscar. It's like, the journey there is the thing. And also you won't have the experience to know how to sort of navigate that situation, and you don't know who around you, who to listen to necessarily, or how that all works. So I would just say, first of all, if you want to act, just take an acting class. There's acting classes everywhere. See what you're good at, what you're not good at. Be honest with it. People are always like, actors, I can do anything. I can do this and this. There's a type. They're going to think of you in one role. You're not going to play Princess Diana. You're like, but I can do anything. Right. And you're like, you're just not going to get cast in that role. So know what you're going to cast as. And then what happens is once you start like getting cast and seen, then people start taking other risks on you. Okay, we can see you in this role. Or, you know, like in Girls, when I got cast in Girls, I'm so grateful for Jen Houston casting, because she saw, like, I've been playing a lot of, like, you know, terrorists and Saudi billionaires and doctors and tech workers. I was in kind of like the brown guy type, you know, and I was like, oh, and I was fine with it. I loved it. I remember one guy, and much respect to him for he has his principles. He was like, I'm never playing a cab driver because it perpetuates a stereotype. I was like, I'd love to play a cab driver because my cab driver is going to be an astrophysicist from Pakistan. That's my backstory. It's real. People are servers. People are cab drivers. And guess what? I do that. I get experience. I get to know that director. All of a sudden, that cab driver comes back. All of a sudden, that cab driver becomes a series regular. You do not know. Don't go against your principles. You know, there's things that we have to stand up against, obviously. But saying yes, and then you get in there, and then you can move the needle for your life, for other people's lives. You know, right now, you're hiring people. You know, all the people that you know were good to you and that you could trust and that you've seen work hard are the people that you want to bring into your orbit. I'm just guessing. I'm assuming. Like, be nice on the playground and work hard, and things will happen. So I bought this book. I started taking workshops, and so, but that was just my path. I didn't go to Juilliard. I didn't graduate with like a big time agent. You know, all that stuff that, I mean, it's all just like pieced together. When I started on Blacklist, honestly, I didn't even, the role was not a series regular. People series regular are the ones you see every week, if people don't know the term. It was a 1-episode guest star. It was episode 3 of season 1. And I actually didn't even want to audition for it because it was such a small part. And it was like, I was like, I've done so many. I was like, can't they just look at my reel and see that I can do this? Just give me an offer. It was just like a computer guy. He solved a little thing. And I remember my agent at the time said, you know, it's NBC's buzzing pilot. This is their hot show. They got to approve everybody, even if you say one word. Like, I was like, they're like, just go. And I was living in LA at the time. I was here shooting Girls. I was sleeping on my sister's couch. And I was like, Maya, that's my sister. I was like, you got to read these lines with her. She's falling asleep. I was like, just say the line. So, and I just thought, really, any competent actor can do this part because it's just a computer guy. You just got an actor who's smart, present, who can just, they can get a lot of guys. And when I went to the audition, they had everybody: black, white, Asian, brown, tall, short, thin, wide, 40, 20. I mean, it was like wide open. Right. And I was like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do something that I haven't done before. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to throw in humor that I will always like, that I don't always get to do when I'm playing these, you know, Saudi billionaires on Homeland, or, you know, whatever, like, you know, whatever, doctor on I Gotta Be Dr. Manning. Like, let me just do some stuff I want to, because I came from comedy, but I never went into improv or stand-up. I was always doing theater. So then people always thought of me as dramatic roles. I was like, I do comedy. So I'm talking a lot. I'm sorry. I'm taking like the last 20 minutes.
I know. We're all listening. We're all soaking it in. We're enjoying it.
Yay, Supa. Wazam, Supa, not Supa 7. Okay, so I remember being like, I'm just gonna have fun with this. I also, and it's probably kind of like, you know, like dating, don't get too precious and wait for the phone to ring. Just do your thing, be you, and then move on. And then the phone rings or whatever it is. So I was actually back on a flight to LA. I was just there. I was like, so this is with my logic. I said 2 things. I said, first of all, there's no small part. There's only small actors. Right. I was like, shut the hell up, Amir. Just go audition. Like, you know what I mean? Oh, who do they think they are? I've done this part 100 times. Just go audition. You got to go get it again. Right. Okay? Just drop the ego. That's 1. And 2, I was like, oh, this is an FBI character on an FBI show. It was the same thing like Dr. Manning on his show. I was like, this character could come back. Meaning he could recur, meaning it's a role that I don't have to audition for all the time, and I could come, and then I'd come to New York sometimes, see my friends, you know, see some theater. And I was like, you know, this could come back. This could be something. I hadn't even seen the pilot. I didn't even know the tone of the show. So when I went in, I was like, everyone's just going to read these lines like they're solving the computer. And I was just going to have fun with it. And what happened was the woman who was reading with me messed up her line. And I was like doing something. And she was like, she like skipped a line. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. If you want to. And I was like, oh, no, we're good. I'm downloading. Hang on. I was like, we're good. All right. So what were you saying? Like, I just started improvising and having fun because I don't want to say I didn't care. I care when I walk into the room always. But I was loose. I wasn't holding on tight. I was just free with it. And then I finished, and then the director of that episode, see, this is timing too, then took over for the first few seasons as the producing director. He became one of the bosses. And he was like, and he was an older guy who'd seen it all in the business. He's like, there you go. That's it. There's somebody brought a personality into the room. He's like, for my money, I give you the part, but we got to get the sign-offs from like, and then people don't realize you got to get approved by the director, the executive producers, the writer, the studio, the network. And at the studio network, there's multiple people. You got to get approved by 5-10 people to get on a network TV show and so forth. And it could be one audition, but a lot of people are looking at it. And then they're going to be certain like things, and they're looking at your resume and you're this and you're that, and we have this type. And so, you know, if you don't get a part, it's not because you didn't do, not necessarily because you didn't do good enough or whatever. It may be like they decided to change the ethnicity of that role, or change the age, or the hair length, or you know what, you're taller than the lead, and the lead needs to look like the superhero. So we don't want, like, I don't know if you like certain roles. I don't want to call out any actors. There's some movie stars that aren't very tall. Right. They got to make sure that the person that they're working with is not that much taller than them, unless it's like for a reason. You know what I mean? Like there's all kinds of, there's so many things. But I figured out, I was like, if I don't get a part, it's not going to be because I didn't prepare. Right. Because getting an audition was so hard for me in the beginning. Like you know, you were struggling. It's a different struggle, but it was like, I wanted an audition so bad that when I got that audition for that cab driver, I was like, it's a lottery ticket and I'm going to do everything I can with it. I was like, I don't have an agent. I was like, I'm mailing my headshot and stuff. I'm standing in the cold for just to get a children's theater role. But I loved acting. I was so happy to do it. So I'm fired up now. You got me going, Supa. Yes, I'm listening. We're all listening. We're enjoying this. Trust me. So you have that opportunity. You know, don't take it for granted. Don't dismiss. They don't grow on trees. And you don't know what's going to turn. So the fact that that guy turned into the boss, and then I also didn't get called. They was going through. Apparently, the last person to sign off on me was on vacation, so I didn't hear for 2 weeks. So I just, after 3 days, I was like, I didn't get it, and I didn't care. I was like, moving on. And then I went to an audition for a movie, which was the same casting officer. Like, oh, are you excited? You're going to be on Blacklist. I was like, I didn't know. She's like, oh yeah, you got it. They're just waiting for a signature from someone who's on vacation. I was like, oh wow. And I still didn't believe it. I don't believe anything until it airs. Right. I don't believe any, because you can get cut out. I don't believe anything until I actually see it with my own eyes. So I try to stay detached, not too excited, you know. And when I got on set, the director, he said he loves his gadgets more than something, and he had a goatee. So I had a beard at the time, so I didn't shave. And when I took that, when he loves his gadgets, I was like, he loves his work. He gets into it. I love my work. I was like, oh, I can just bring me and just train my love of acting and working into my love of gadgets and solving problems. So it was just a mirror. So I took that and had fun with it. And I got to the set, and he's like, oh, you know, you're great. I told the producers, we need a guy like you with some fun. This is good. And so he's like, I told them to call him Amir. And I was like, because the name of the role was Aram. So they changed it from Morgan to Aram. And so one of the reasons they named him Aram, it's like, sounds like Amir. So he told me that was very encouraging. I was like, oh, just do what I do and just like have fun. And then when we were shooting the scene and I was like locating them, and I sent Wrestler and Mira Malik when Parminder was on the show in season 1, and they run out and they didn't yell cut. They were holding the camera on me for, you know, another few seconds. And I was like, and I knew the DP, the camera guy from another movie I had done. So it's all about coming in. You don't know when these moments, and I was getting on a plane to LA. I had just done Girls where we could improv. So it was like sort of like a magical mix. I happened to be in New York at that time, just the perfect timing and staying free, staying loose. And I asked him, I was like, Frank, are you still on me? Are you still rolling? He was like, yeah. I was like, all right, if they don't cut the next take, I'm just going to improv because I know they can cut it out because it's at the end of the lines that were written. So I'm not messing up. I'm not changing the lines. Like we do the lines, you know, and normally they would run out the room and they would yell cut. If they don't yell cut and I talk some more, they can always cut it out of the edit.
Right.
So I just started improvising and just having fun. And then I actually made, if you watched it, I actually made myself laugh. I was like, you're being crazy, Amir. I was like, I made myself laugh. I was like, go get him. And I started laughing that I'm messing around. And then when I watched it, I was at my sister's house on the couch, and because I was in LA, so that's why I was staying with her, crashing her when I was doing New York jobs because I moved to LA. And we're watching, and I was like, Maya, dude, I made that line up. I can't believe that's on the show. I made that line up. And
wow.
I'm like, a network drama to allow me to improv a comedy. That's when I was like, maybe they'll bring me back.
Right.
Then they started bringing me back, and they had started writing in the rhythm of the way I make jokes.
Right. So you was able to be.
So the role was like, it was like I got the role, but then they also wrote the role towards me. I mean, it's magic. It's magic.
That's dope. And that's why it flows so well for you, because it's like Amir.
He's a nerdier Amir, please.
It is.
I have more swag than Aram. I do. Aram's a little smarter.
Yeah.
Amir's a little smoother. So I think. Probably not. But, all right.
Oh, man. Also, you're also producer and a director, right?
Oh, yeah. Thank you for asking. Okay. We're talking a lot. All right. Okay. So I got to put something on you next because this is okay. So I'll say real quick, being in this business a while, I've worked with so many directors, and I started seeing what I thought was working and wasn't working. Mm-hmm. I could see directors getting in some actors' way or making things more difficult, and I could see some directors like unlocking things in me that I didn't even know I had. So I started witnessing, and people can be, you know, like a coach. They can be rough coaches. They can be sensitive coaches. Like I started seeing what was commanding, but also kind and fun and knowing how to like, so I started, and it's always hard for me because I was like, you know, as an actor, you can't tell another actor what to do. It's like against the rules, mostly. Depends who you are. And you can't really tell the director what to do, but you can collaborate. But I found myself being like, oh God, I want to help that actor so bad. Like I want to, like, and I was like, but I can't. So I started over the years being like, I want to talk. I want to say something. I want, and so I was like, I have it. So then I just started directing on my own, like little things, theater, and moved up. And then I made a short film and then making another short film. And right now I'm working on a documentary all about Tati. You may have seen her on my social media. That comes from Stephanie Angel, who created a nonprofit called Angel Light Films. And I've always been like big into arts access because like what acting as a kid gave me, I always wanted to like help kids that maybe don't have a chance for that. I know, okay, I'll finish this up real quick. Right. All right. So, and so that, she asked me, would I work on a film? This nonprofit works with kids that have or have had a brain or spinal cord tumor about any, they can make a film about anything they want. I was like, oh my God, of course, sick kids don't have access either. So, and then I was like, if I'm going in and working with this kid to help her like make a short film about anything she wants, I want to document it. I want to document this 8-year-old's imagination while also tracking her health and her family life to see the correlation of like doing art and like creating and acting and direct, like, and I've been doing it for 2.5 years.
Oh, wow.
They've become like 2 of my best friends. Tati, she's now 10, and Siobhan, and she's been going through a lot of tough stuff, both the mom, and it's a single mom to 4 girls. They live in Brownsville, Brooklyn. I've made a whole new community of friends. We're working on it. We're looking to find it. Please, everybody watch Dr. Oz on April 23rd. I'm going to be a guest on Dr. Oz talking about that and a few other things. And so, yeah. So I say what?
Where can we watch that, Dr. Oz?
Oh, I'm still, it's not going to be, it's going to probably be another year at least until it's like prep, at least maybe 1.5 years, because I'm actually still filming because there's more story to tell. And we're also still fundraising in order to do the edit and the post-production. But yeah, directing, I'll just say this last thing. Directing engages, Andrew McCarthy, people know him as the actor from like the 80s and the 90s. He directs a lot of Blacklist episodes. I always said, what do you prefer, acting or directing? He's like, acting makes me more anxious, directing makes me more stressed. And it's true. You gotta like be thinking of 100 things when you're directing, and you're leading every department. And acting, you just kind of like gotta prepare Aram. You just like getting all the Aram stuff. You just kind of get that part and like work in that room. So anyway, so I like engaging all the parts of my brain too. So I like both. Anyway, that's it. All right, I know we've been on long. We said we'd do an hour. It's an hour 11 minutes. Let me just finally, Supa, Wazam Supa. Was there anything you'd like to tell or ask about Blacklist, or anything you'd like to say or ask us finish on you, like the CEO, the original, Raynell, Supa, Crayon Case, Hustler, social media girl? Anything you want to say besides stop watching TV? Don't stop watching TV.
Listen, I love Blacklist. As long as Blacklist been out, I did not get into Blacklist until 2018. I was leaving London, and I found out I was pregnant. And I found out I was pregnant. I'm like, okay, so I'm going to be inside all day, just literally just watching TV. So I was just on up stuff, and I love crime stuff. Yeah, I watched Law and Order, my very favorite show. So anything that has to do with Law and Order, CSI. So when Black out, I'm like, okay, it's kind of like.
I saw the post.
Yeah.
I don't want to do the imitation. I don't want to like do an imitation because I don't want to like get in trouble. But like, ain't nobody messing with my Blacklist. Sorry. I know. I just had to do it. Like I do imitations, and
Listen,
I could do a good. I could do a pretty good Supa, but I won't.
I
but
watched it, literally just watching inside, pregnant, nothing to do, and it's the whole. I watched it for weeks, for days, and then I had where I lost my memory. I had to rewatch. Right, I had to rewatch it all over again. 6, I believe, and I had to go back and watch it all.
why did you lose your memory? Was it a thing from pregnancy or?
Yeah, I was diagnosed with epilepsy.
Okay, so you're breaking up, but I heard you say epilepsy?
Yeah, I was diagnosed with epilepsy in 2019. So I had a huge, like a memory gap, right? Everything that I was watching, Grey's Anatomy to Blacklist, I had to rewatch it. So I started with Black. I watched it.
At least you remembered you liked it.
Yeah, I did. I remember. I'm gonna watch it again. When I put it on, putting it on the part where I left, and I'm like, okay, I have to watch it over. So so I basically watched it twice, and I'm kind of I'm still all into it. Like, even though they got parts, so come on, I'm ready to find out, but I miss it so I cannot miss a show. Like I even up, I gotta work on a week, build up, and I'll miss 2 parts. Watch it. That's something.
People don't know. You messaged me. You're like, Amir, why can't I see 5? You had built up 4, and then you hadn't DVR'd. You're like, how can I see this? Because it wasn't on Netflix and it wasn't on NBC On Demand, and you were bugging. And so you messaged me late. I was like, I think I was like, go to iTunes. I'd sent you links and so forth. It was really funny. That was nice.
And I ended up watching it. But yeah, I love whoever's not watching Black, you have to watch it. It's an amazing show. It's so much suspense. Also comedy. And James Spader, like comedy to me is amazing. I love it. It's funny. I love Blacklist. No show topping Blacklist to me. No show. So I'm not watching it.
All right, I'm not milking, but like last thing, like why? What is it about Blacklist that makes you like it? What is it?
The suspense of it, like just the fact that you see these people, all y'all became a family, like on the show to me. Like y'all just kind of met with each other. All y'all became a family. Y'all so super supportive. Like, King is crazy stuff right now. All y'all support. All y'all is you. Like even like Cooper, everybody.
I love Coop.
Like they're still like y'all not doing nothing that we wouldn't do in real life. Like we would not do something that we would do something that we do for our job because of our family. And like y'all showing all that in Blacklist, and get so suspicious. Like it keep us on our toes. Like we don't know what the hell is about to happen. We still trying to find out what them damn burns is on Ruddington back. Like we see that since like a few seasons ago.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
The hell
Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Things are coming. Stay tuned.
I'm excited for it. Then. I'm excited. I need to know why them burn.
Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Stay here. Stay here. Stay here. Stay here. Stay here. I'm getting something. I'm getting something. Wait, no, it's upstairs. It's upstairs. All right, I can't do it now. I was going to show you, like, I got to get up at 5:15 a.m. tomorrow morning, go to work, because we got to get COVID rapid tests before we work, so you got to go even a little earlier, but I have all my notes for tomorrow. I have a big day tomorrow, a big shoot tomorrow. So we should go. Supa.
Thank you, Amir. Thank you for even doing this with me. I am extremely honored. I am still a fan. So it's not like, like we may talk. I'm a fan. I'm a genuine fan of yours. Like once I started seeing, like once you made it, I started Googling that you did again so I could start watching. I started watching Law and Order. I watched the God and Like show. I watched this. I watched that. Like, I went to watch that video. I'm like, oh, he's cool. I'm about to go watch stuff, not just Blacklist. So thank you for thinking about doing this with me. It's a lot to me, and I appreciate it.
Ditto, kiddo. I'm a fan. I look up to you at your hustle, your social media hustle. You keep it real, and let's do this again.
Thank you. Gotcha. Bye-bye, Amir. Bitch, I'm fanning out right now.